to do the members only Thursday live. And so before jumping in to all 12 of the Zodiacs, I did kind of want to talk about Eckhart Tolle's book, The New Earth, Finding Your Purpose. And so I am about halfway through chapter 8. I have been listening to the book on YouTube. I did share the video that I've been listening to on the community tab for the members, especially if you're finding it difficult to read through this book. Hello, Kelly. Welcome in. It is a very difficult live. I see Stephanie just actually texted me and she said she couldn't see me live, but I'm live. I would love to reply, but I can't. Maybe Kelly shoot Steph a text to let her know I'm live now. But I really wanted to talk about this book because holy moly, the shedding of layers that has been going on for me. So I've been committing every morning after I get out of the shower while I do my makeup and kind of get ready for the day. I've been at least 20 minutes a day listening to the audio book. Hello, Zandra, welcome in. And mind blowing. There was a couple parts in the book, if I go back a few chapters, where it really talked about the emotional pain body. And I don't know if any of you have reached that chapter yet in this book, talking about the emotional pain body. Hello, Jolene, welcome in. And how our own personal emotional pain body, hello, Steph, will actually seek out arguments and triggers when it comes to other people's emotional pain body and then the dance that we go into. It definitely hit me in the feels when I got to the chapter about our kids and how we parent our kids and how a lot of us have a hard time releasing that attachment and how we too will cause our children pain and mind boggling. Let me tell you, I was mind blown and I've definitely taken a step back and really have been approaching my relationship with my children very differently over the course of the last week. And so, like I said, I'm about halfway through chapter 8. There's two more chapters left in the book, and I'm definitely going to have to take my time, I think, to re listen and try to read along with the audio to read this twice. So I'm finding it wonderful. I'm finding it fabulous. I've already kind of practiced meditation and quieting the mind and detaching from outcomes over the last several years, but this is just kind of allowing me to kind of anchor in that lesson. So I'm not sure where any of you are at when it comes to the book of the month. I am going to do a poll and post a poll because we are, what are we at? Like we're almost to the end of the month. And so we've got to pick a book for next month. And I have a couple ideas in mind, but I will post a poll on the community tab for those of you that are interested in the book club and joining again next month. And I'd like your votes and your opinions on a couple of the books that I kind of have in mind for next month, because this was actually a very difficult read. I didn't think it would be, but it was. So we're going to jump in and we are going to, yeah, I'm telling you, I've actually also throughout the day, Kelly, I subscribed to his channel first off. Hello, Anne. Welcome in. And I have been listening to like little clips of Eckhart Tolle over the last few weeks, listening to this audiobook. And I'm telling you, the mind shift, the serenity, the peace, the sense of calmness that I've been able to kind of ground in, just connecting to this Eckhart Tolle, his teachings is phenomenal. So if you haven't jumped into the book yet, go check it out. Like I said, it's a very difficult read, so listen to it. I'm pretty sure even Zandra had mentioned before that you can get the book on Spotify if you are a Spotify user. So I don't pay for a Spotify subscription because I pay for YouTube, so I don't have to deal with the ads when I listen to content on YouTube. But yeah, definitely loving the Eckhart Tolle book, even though it's really hard to actually read and digest. So before jumping into all 12 of the Zodiacs, I was asked today to flip all of my decks upside down to deliver a message, a general message to all of us in these energies. I know we're kind of finding it a little bit hard to ride the waves. I checked and peeked at the astrology right before I jumped on the live, and I did notice the moon is now in Virgo at 0 degrees. And so Virgo energy, not easy to work with at that 0 degrees. It can create a lot of anxiety. It can create a lot of underlying nervousness when it comes to structure, order. It can be a little bit OCD at that 0 degree point. And so over the course of the next 24 hours or so, the moon will be opposing Venus in Pisces, and it will also be forming an opposition to, oh my God, Neptune and Saturn in Pisces. So difficult energy because we do remember, like we had on the 11th on the weekend, we had the true north node shift into Pisces, although the means north node is still in Aries, and so there's a little bit of a discrepancy there when it comes to these energies. But the true north node and south node is aspecting the moon in Virgo today, so I think that's adding a little bit of intensity to the energies coming through. So what I got on the bottom of each deck was I got rhodonite. I decided to use the crystal stone deck today, and it's talking about going with your heart. I'm using the Angel Wisdom Tarot, and we get the Ten of Wands on the bottom of the deck. And then I did pick the Four Agreements deck. And so this is one of the picks for next month's book. I feel the Four Agreements. It really does allow you to shift that mindset once again. And so a general message for all of us when we connect with the energy of rhodonite. I know I love working with that stone. It's really good at allowing you to tap into your potential, right? So maybe take a step back and ask yourself, where have I been wasting my potential? It's like a really good energy of like taking the rose colored glasses off. And this is it's like somebody here is almost against fully opening the heart. And so we do have to figure out what it is we're supposed to be doing with our life. That's why I picked the Eckhart Tolle book to start the year off with. And so if you're wasting your potential sitting in a dead-end job, especially if you're hating your job, pay attention to the Sagittarius energy in your chart and where Sagittarius sits in your housing sign, because I do feel maybe the mundane day-to-day life or the job that you're working in that really isn't going anywhere has maybe got somebody down here. But this is also the energy of no more people pleasing, right? And as we go further into the Pisces North Node, we got to drop the people pleasing facade. We really got to maintain that structure and order. And so I was really reading up on the Pisces North Node, and I was conversing with Stephanie earlier in the week about this North Node energy when it comes to the South Node in Virgo. So pay attention to in your birth chart wherever you have the Virgo placements, because the dragon's head and tail energy, the head is in Pisces, the tail is in Virgo, and the tail is going to create like a sweeping energy and a clearing of karmic debris connected to any Virgo energy. So I think we've got a really unique opportunity over the next 18 months to really lighten our load, to really clear up a lot of past life karma, especially connected to the Pisces Virgo axis in any part of your birth chart. So really be mindful of that. Take note of that. The Ten of Wands, I feel, is asking us all to just create that work-life balance. And that's really what I've been doing with these retrogrades. So I kind of went into the dark night of the soul energy when Mercury went retrograde in Sagittarius. And I'm finally coming out of that dark, shadowy integration. We do still have Jupiter retrograde, and that to me is also sitting in my fourth house, which has also taken a toll on my whole routine, right? Especially with Mars retrograde too. I had Mars go retrograde in my sixth house, and now it's shifted into my fifth house, I believe. I haven't pulled a transit chart since the beginning of December. But let me tell you, I went down, all of my routines kind of went out the window, and I put my physical vessel on the back burner for about the last 6 weeks. I started getting back on track yesterday morning, and I'm feeling it. But we do have to create that work-life balance, right? And we gotta let other people help us, because I've been finding it very difficult to like fill my own cup lately, because I'm filling everybody's freaking cup but my own. And so I had to take a step back and say, hey, I can't keep putting my health on the back burner. And so that might be a message for a lot of us out there, is we can't keep working all these hours, putting all of our effort into something without creating that balance when it comes to our personal needs and taking care of our health. Because if we have too much stress in our life, then we really aren't in a state of balance. And so I think that's a big message of the Ten of Wands coming through. And then we get don't make assumptions, discern the truth. And so I do feel there was some type of truth that likely came through connected to that Cancer full moon. You think of Cancer, it's connected to the mother, it's connected to the home. And so there could have been a huge misunderstanding reaching some type of like culmination point during the full moon in Cancer, and that might not be for everybody. But we also create misunderstandings when we make assumptions, right? And so See you at 6. Oh, yay. I'm so excited, Jolene. It's going to be a full house. I am so excited to see you tonight at the tea room. Yeah, I'll be working at the tea room tonight, guys. So I guess Jolene just took the last spot. So it's going to be a full house. So we really have to be mindful, right? When we personally react to our triggers when it comes to our emotional body, then we keep sending this emotional poison out into the world, and then we're going to have that being reflected back into our physical reality. And so sometimes we can often create a whole big drama for nothing, especially if we're making assumptions. So I think we all kind of needed to hear that message. But let's get into all of the zodiacs. We're going to start off with Aries, as always. And so we're going to get a crystal stone deck message to start. We're going to get a tarot card, and then we're going to get a Four Agreements card. So let's see what needs to come through for Aries. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, Jupiter, and North Node. Messages for Aries, please. And remember, you can apply this. If you resonate with any message, then apply it to any part of your chart, okay? I notice the lighting keeps going in and out. My ring light has been acting up lately, so it doesn't matter. Let's get a card for Aries, please. I'm going to take this one, Sapphire. Find your tranquil place, Aries. Find your tranquil place. And so you might be in, I want to say, conundrum. You're in some type of conundrum. And that's something like my grandmother would say. There's something about peacemaking energy coming through. I think maybe you are super vulnerable right now, Aries. And so I feel you're coming into some type of ancient wisdom, though. So when I think of Aries energy, we had that full moon in Cancer, and at some point during the moon transiting through Cancer earlier this week, it would have been in a square to Aries or Libra energy. So you might have been feeling like you were forced into a corner or forced into a box under that full moon, which might have made you very vulnerable. I heard protection, so I think you need to protect yourself. There's some type of Saturn energy playing out, Aries. So really look to where Saturn is at in your birth chart, the placement it is, the house it sits in. We've got a lot of big energies playing out with Saturn this year. We're going to have Saturn moving into Aries later this year. I didn't bring my planner down to give you the exact date, but it's going to move into Aries. Neptune's going to move into Aries. They're both going to go retrograde, and they're going to be dancing together for a good part of the latter part of the year. And so this is a major cleanup. So Saturn in Aries is going to conjunct your sun, your moon, your Venus, and it'll be probably sitting in that first house of yours if you're in Aries first house. And so try to be non-judgmental. It's almost like you're dealing, I just want to say you're dealing with a lot of BS right now. And Saturn is here to say, hey, look at the damage that all of this karmic BS is causing in your life. If there's resentments, you need to let go of those resentments because they're causing more damage than you realize. There's also, I feel like, this old soul that resides within that is coming forward. And so these resentments could be connected to some type of home situation or foundation. And so if there's a lack of peace, if there's a lack of prosperity, then maybe you need to hand this over to the divine. And so 4 is about protection. I do feel there's some type of situation here on the home front where either somebody's holding something against you or you're holding something against somebody else, and it's really creating a lot of difficulties. So, the Four of Wands upright is saying there is a lot to celebrate, but paired with the sapphire energy, I just keep being shown like you got to give somebody the middle finger here. You got to tell somebody where to go. And that's how that's coming through today. So let's see what the Four Agreements deck has for this message, because it's almost like the wisest part of you inside already has the answer, already knows. And so trust in that wisdom, okay? We get always do your best. Practice makes the master. So maybe you are coming into some type of mastery or completion of a lesson. And so you are being called to do your best over and over again because you are learning to master the art of transformation. That's what's coming through for you, Aries. And so maybe you have gotten yourself into the habit of misusing your words. So communication can so easily be misconstrued, especially when you're texting somebody back and forth because you can't hear the tone. And I know I've had that conversation with my good friend Stephanie for many times over. Like texting is so awful when it comes to relationship issues. Maybe there's a need to understand where maybe you're unconsciously misusing the words that you speak, or maybe you're taking things a little bit too personally and making assumptions. And so there's something here that I feel has weakened and lessened your vitality. And so how can you kind of just bring it back into the present moment? And I think just give it to the divine, give it to the angels. And that's what I've got for you, Aries. Okay, so we're going to move on to Taurus next. Sun, moon, rising, Venus, Jupiter, and North Node. Messages for Taurus, please. What do we got for my Taurus collective? This one wanted to fall out. I felt it and I caught it, so we're going to take it. Lepidolite. This is asking you, once again, another energy of entering your chill zone. Don't freak out if you find yourself freaking out. This could be due to the fact that we've got Uranus and Taurus still. There's like this infusion of energy, and it might make you feel a little bit frazzled. It might have you all up in your head, especially with the moon transiting through Virgo. I just feel like you gotta take a step back from being a workaholic too. And so maybe you just need to run a bubble bath, put on a meditation. I just feel like do not succumb to the pressure of everything going on around you. It says fit and fabulous. So 24/7, 365 days a year is just too much. And so that is kind of why I had to kind of take that 6 week break of I'd love to be fit and fabulous, but it was taking a toll on my daily life because I just felt everything was so rushed. And even though I was pouring into my own cup, it was taking away from all the other cups I had to pour into. And so finding that balance, because when we are, feeling like we're under pressure, we can easily freak out and get frazzled, right? And so maybe it's time to put the phone on do not disturb. Maybe it's time to just take a step back from the busyness for 5-10 minutes a day. I do feel you are being asked to just relax, let go of any frazzled energy, any drama, let go of anything that isn't yours to begin with, okay? So we're going to pair a tarot card to this for Taurus. Oh, one come out right away, Two of Swords. And so the path still is not clear moving forward. But this Two of Swords is interesting. So it's saying there's blocks, right? The Two of Swords is always blocks. Maybe you can't see clearly. But this Two of Swords is saying, yeah, she can see clearly, right? You see the veil. And so she sees beyond the veil. So she who sees is what I just heard. So this is not about people pleasing. This is not about making other people happy. This is about following your own heart. And so if there is a problem, if there is an issue, it's time to take the rose-colored glasses off. I also feel if you're over-analyzing a situation here, you need to take a step back. Maybe you do need to protect your heart because the Two of Swords is crossing over the heart. But I just feel, there goes the throat. There's a big decision that you have to make coming up here, and you don't want to procrastinate making that decision. So if there is a problem, deal with it right away. I just heard stay in your own lane, but you can't keep being a people pleaser. So what is the Four Agreements card that needs to go? Enjoy heaven on earth. Be impeccable with your word. And so we see the rainbow behind this person. I feel you've got nothing to worry about. I feel there's some type of rainbow blessing coming in here. And so the impeccability of your word will lead to a lot of success and abundance. And so you can attain the kingdom of heaven from within. And so under this one agreement, though, you have to be impeccable with your word. So maybe you don't feel like talking to people. Maybe you don't feel like playing into the mundane conversations with people or shallow conversations. But I do feel you are stepping into some type of personal freedom, and you just don't see it yet. You just don't see that yet. So we're going to move on to Gemini next. Messages for Gemini, please. Sun, moon, rising, Venus, Jupiter, and North Node. What do we got for my Gemini collective? Okay, we're going to take it. Connect to your star stuff. So definitely going through a throat chakra clearing today is what it feels like. We get meteorite. This feels like something coming in very fast, very unexpected. You think of a meteorite, it goes by really, really fast. And so maybe you are coming into a recognition of your star seed origin. It does say children of the stars on the card. And so I think there's like a lot of conducive spiritual energy connected to you, Gemini, especially with the retrograde of Jupiter and Gemini. And I'm thinking it goes direct. If I remember correctly from my reading I did yesterday with the client, I'm pretty sure it goes direct on the 4th of February. I could be wrong. Something goes direct on the 4th of February. And so I just feel maybe you need to go out and have a coffee and a chat with a trustworthy friend here. But it's almost like you're tapping into otherworldly knowledge, tapping into some galactic truth, is what I want to say. And so you are being realigned to this universal energy that is pulsating through you, is what this is feeling like. So it's time to really open up your eyes and gaze inward, if that makes sense. So, what is the tarot card that we're pairing to this meteorite energy? Four of Cups. The Four of Cups is stuckness, it's inertia, it's soul suppression. I do feel there is this failing to recognize what the divine is bringing forward. Something here or somebody here is keeping you distracted. So I don't know if there's discontentment or boredom in some type of foundation. Fours are foundations, right? Maybe you're getting some type of wake up call connected to a love situation. We do see Archangel Raphael behind the tree, kind of peeking behind the tree. And so it's like you've got some deep roots here in a situation, but I do feel there's a need to recognize the magical around you. Maybe you're missing the point when it comes to a situation, a home situation with the four. But I do think you got to see beyond a situation here that has really got you distracted from your path. And so how can you infuse more creativity into your life, right? I just feel you're likely feeling misaligned, and this spiritual energy is trying to get you back on track. So maybe it's time to go and have a chat with a trusted friend. So I think just waking up from boredom or slumber. So what is the Four Agreements card? Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Communicate with clarity. And so if you are being called to be that lighthouse, Gemini, maybe it's time to start communicating your visions. Maybe it's time to start shining that light. We all kind of have to do our part, but I feel if there's boredom or stuckness or discontentment in a relationship, there's a need to communicate clearly about this sadness, about a misunderstanding, because relationships can't change without real, open, honest communication. And so we also got ignore the opinions of others. And so it doesn't matter what people think about you, what people have to say about you, whether it's a personal situation or a relationship. They have their opinion and they've got their own belief system according to that opinion. But this is about you. What is best for you? And so don't overdo it. Always do your best. So I'm going to take all three because they came out. But I feel there's a situation here that is depleting your body because you're going against everything in your very being to maybe make things work, and maybe you're afraid to communicate clearly because it won't last if you do. But it's almost like something here is holding you back from accomplishing your goals. So take a step back and really ask yourself what that is. Okay, Cancer. Let's move on to Cancer. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, Jupiter, and North Node. I had to write it all down today because I was like definitely a little bit scattered, but feeling good. So we get the Amber card. There's Amber Alert. It's like the universe is alerting you to something here. And so there's some type of ancient origin rocking you to the core. There is this permeating feeling I feel when it comes to some residue from the past. This is asking you to recharge your good vibes, Cancer. I think you're a very old soul. Maybe you are gearing up for a very long, dark winter. There could be something like caught inside of you that needs to be unhooked, is what I want to say. And so I do feel you're converting something like energy, converting metaphysical energy around you. It's like you just need a great big huge freaking hug from the universe or a friend. I feel yeah, there's something here where maybe you feel excluded. It says the dinosaur era. So something here could have been fossilized and maybe it's just time to let that die away. Let's see what the tarot has to say about this, Cancer. Okay. Three of Swords, but it flipped out in reverse. I consciously made sure to put every card in the deck upright today. That's what I was asked to do. And so whatever great sadness is plaguing you, Cancer, it will be healed. Healing takes time. Healing takes time. I don't believe that time heals all wounds. It does allow us to move through the pain, to move past the pain and to let it go. It doesn't mean that it fully heals. But you're going through a challenging time, I feel, in order for some personal growth out of these challenges. And so there could be an opportunity to heal a misunderstanding. I just feel like you're feeling abandoned, like nobody is there for you in your time of need. And it's really time to take a step back and maybe reevaluate some relationships here. Maybe it's time to really nurture yourself, love yourself. Maybe there is no resolution in sight when it comes to a misunderstanding, which is re-triggering this great sadness. So how can you just let go of the past, Cancer? I think that's what the universe is asking you to do. Oh, geez, that one went flying right out. Speak openly and honestly. With the red on the card, I feel root chakra, right? Spot on, Cancer moon today. Um, when we think of root chakra, it does connect us to our security fears, where we've been abandoned emotionally, financially. And so maybe it's time to speak openly and honestly about what it is that you need from people, what it is that you need, because people aren't mind readers. Although I'm very intuitive, I can't read minds, right? I wish I could read minds, but I can't. But maybe you need to clear up some communication because people can't give you what they don't know that you need from them. And so speak about what it is that you need and be impeccable with what it is that you need with your word speaking to these people. But I do feel a major energy of heart healing today. Okay, Cancer. So we're going to move on to Leo next. Messages for Leo, please. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, Jupiter, and North Node. Oh, this one wanted to come out. What is it? Scolecite. This reminds me of like what like I'm trying to think like I like a coral or something in the ocean. This is asking you, Leo, to dive into your dreams. I think something here is about to burst. That's what it feels like, Leo. Something is about to burst. I'm being shown the energy of the Nine of Swords. So I don't know if you're up all night worrying about a situation. You could be just a worry wart, but I feel you gotta establish the chill zone energy, and maybe it's time to knock up like take your sleep hygiene up a notch. So I think really pay attention to your dreams because it does say dive into your dreams here. And so there's a lot of subconscious important messages coming through in dream space. So put a book beside the bed, put a journal beside the bed, Leo, and journal about what comes through in dream space, even if it doesn't make sense, because you might be able to decipher those prophetic messages at a later date and time. But I feel it's really time to dive into your subconscious patterns. It's like a needle's about to bust open a bubble here. So I don't know how that resonates with you, but we did get the Six of Swords out. And so if you want challenging times to end, you're going to have to move forward. So this Six of Swords, let's have a look here. So we see the man and we see the woman and the kid in the boat. And we get all the Six of Swords on the one side. And with the swan on the front of the boat, swans mate for life, right? Swans do mate for life. But I do feel swans can represent peace. And so it's like you're trying to outrun a storm here. You see the storm clouds below. It reminds me of the time I was out on the water a couple summers ago and we had to outrun a storm coming back in off the lake, and not a good time at all. So maybe there's a situation here where you just need a sense of relief. I do feel you're being called to find peace in your life, to create a sense of calmness. So if there's an underlying depression here that has been plaguing you, you might need to move. You might need to relocate. Maybe you need to just book a vacation and travel. I just feel things are going to start to look up maybe over the next 6 weeks or so. But what is the Four Agreements message? That went flying like way over there. Oh my goodness, I'm not going to go get it, but it says relinquish self-importance. That's what the card said. So you are important. You are worthy. Okay. Let's get one more. Seek to know the truth. It's almost like opening up the Akashic books. So it's like the bubble that's bursting is showing you the truth. I think you might have three spirit guides like hounding you like crazy right now when it comes to the truth. And so it's almost like you know the truth, but you don't want to believe it. So you got to believe the truth. There's some type of distorted belief system here that is keeping you stuck in a situation, I feel, whether it's work, relationship, and you are being called to break free, to create a new path based on truth. So where in your life are you denying some type of truth, Leo? Because the truth and only the truth has the power to set you free. So think about that for a minute, Leo? Okay, Virgo is next. My chair doesn't feel quite right. Let's get a message for Virgo, please. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, Jupiter, and North Node. Oh dear. Okay, we got two. We got two. Okay, we get Cavan site. I hope I said that right. Expansion of consciousness, and we get labradorite. So you do need to protect yourself. Labradorite is one of my favorite stones. I have an entire shelf in my bedroom in a glass cabinet filled with labradorite. So there's like a psychedelic, supernatural, expansive energy around you, Virgo. So you might even be coming into higher communication from your guides. There is this vivid energy, I feel, bringing you to the next level. And so, like I talked about that sweeping energy when it comes to the dragon's tail. And I just heard all hail Orion. So maybe you're an Orion star seed. The messages are very funny today. But I do feel you're being called to step into being some type of healer, therapist, or psychic. So maybe you're coming into some psychic gifts, and maybe there's resistance to what's going on below the surface here, Virgo. I do feel you have the ability to translate energy into words, into written or spoken words. And so maybe it's time to speak up. Maybe it's time to be a public speaker. Maybe things are feeling like they're getting a little bit weird around you, but there is something shifting below the surface and you are being called to hold more light. It's almost like your north node is frozen. I don't know why that feels like that. It's like your north node is frozen and you are being called to explore this alchemical, spiritual, artistic energy. So this definitely has to do with the Pisces North Node. And so it's time to cast your sails, to set sails, because maybe you've lost your faith when it comes to a certain situation or even your path. Let's face it, the energies right now are weird. The world is a little bit weird right now. There's a lot going on in the energies, and it's very heavy at times. But I do feel you need to protect your magic. Labradorite was actually first discovered in Canada. So very interesting. Let's get you a tarot card to go with these energies. Okay, we got a little bit of a pile here. Jeepers. Virgo. There's going to be a new opportunity for work here coming through. The Three of Coins, the Nine of Cups to the Ten of Cups, and the Knight of Swords. And so I just feel things are coming in very, very quickly. I feel a lot of supernatural communication. With the cardinal, I always think of the cardinal as like a grandmother figure on the other side, could be a grandfather. But once again, this red energy is saying release your fears, make a choice, and go full steam ahead. This is not about being emotional. This is about being intellectual. And with this Three of Pentacles, I feel like a little bit of a quality of judgment coming through, right? With the horn being blown. And so this is about your work. Maybe it's time for a new creative endeavor. I just feel like mastering your craft, mastering your gifts, working well with people, building an excellent reputation. Could be a Virgo 10th house. Doesn't have to be, but pay attention to the 10th house. 10th house is reputation. But it's like this is what's coming in very, very hot and heavy. Wishes coming true. The 9 to the 10. So I think keep building what it is you're building. Get grounded in this channeling energy. It's like you're here to channel messages. I feel you have the ability to channel messages. And so what I feel is get ready for sudden unexpected changes, especially when it comes to your work. Okay. Libra is up next. Messages for Libra, please. What do we got for my Libra collective? Diamond. Shine bright like a diamond. I think you are icing out those chains and you are becoming your best friend, Libra. That's what this is bringing forward for me today. And so there's like a spiritual cloud cover about to be cleared, Libra, so you can bask in your purest light. And so there's something shifting when it comes to the material part of your life. I think you've worked really, really hard to clear some negative cycles. And maybe it's time for you to keep things icy with somebody who maybe has kept you in the dark or ghosted you. But the diamond energy is saying there could be a higher commitment coming through. Whenever I think of a diamond, I think of an engagement ring, of course. But you are being asked to shine that light through the darkness. This year, there's going to be a lot of darkness being awakened within the collective. And we as light workers are needed now more than ever to shine that light. And so people can't see in the dark, right? When they're in the dark, but we've got to be those light bearers and we have to have those intentions of being a light worker perfectly clear. And so I think you're being asked to own it. Own your path, own your light, beam your light for all to see. Shine bright like a diamond, Libra, okay? All right, what needs to pair with the diamond card? They wanted to fall out, so we had to take them. Awakening, the sun. Okay, so you get Leo energy with the sun. We get Pisces energy with the awakening or the hanged man card. And then we get the 8 of swords to the 9 of wands. And so I think you're seeing clearly where you keep yourself stuck. Maybe you're here to shine a light on the collective when it comes to the illusion of being entrapped in an old mindset or an old cycle. When I think of the 8 of swords, I think of like the devil card in the minor arcana. And so she's got a gate here. I'm going to count the swords. I know it's 7, but I'm going to count them again. We got the 7 of swords on the gate and she's holding the ace of swords. And so really the only thing we need to set ourselves free, Libra, is the truth, right? And so protect what you have created. To be a healer is to trigger a lot of people. Your light is going to be triggering a lot of people, especially Libra rising, because you're closing out the South Node in Libra. So you've just ascended that South Node in Libra energy. And so we're closing that cycle out, going into the Pisces North Node. And this is where we ground that wounded healer energy. Be prepared to never give up, because your light is going to irritate a lot of people, I feel. And there's the light. We got the sun shining the light down on what needs to awaken in people. So I think you are here as almost like a spiritual catalyst for a lot of people over the coming year. And this really is about shining bright. So I think you're coming into a lot of joy, a lot of success. And I think plans are going to work out perfectly for you. So keep focusing on your charitable actions. And we got 2 fallout for you, Libra. Assume nothing, eliminate gossip. Both of the energies are connected to not making assumptions. So I do feel you are here to shine a light on the suffering of the world. Don't play into gossip. Don't play into gossip. It's so low vibe. And don't assume things either, right? I do feel you might need to defend yourself against some gossip. Maybe people are gossiping about you when it comes to a relationship, any kind of relationship. But people don't know. They really don't know. They don't have a say because they don't see things like you see them. But I do feel there's this energy telling you to go after what you want. I do think maybe gossip has hurt you in the past. But how can you rise above that? How can you rise above that? Because when people gossip, usually they're jealous. Usually they got nothing better to do. And we are eliminating the gossiping friendships moving forward, right? That's what we're eliminating moving forward. We're not going to play into people that want to gossip and trash talk people. I know the last thing I want to talk about is other people, unless it's to come together and grow something, right? And so I just feel it doesn't matter if the gossip is right or wrong. Don't even bother defending yourself if that's something that resonates for you. Okay, Libra? All right, Scorpio is up next. What do we got for my Scorpio collective? Okay, Lemurian quartz. I love Lemurian quartz. Yeah, hitting home today, eh, Sandra? Actually, a Lemurian quartz. I'm going to tell you guys a funny story. So, on my journey, I went through two spirals of ascension, and both of them lasted 3 days. The first ascension for me was in 2019. It was around Mother's Day because I remember being thrown in the psych ward on Mother's Day in 2019 after a 3 day spiral of ascension of going up and retrieving codes, coming back down, crashing. It was like a 3 day spiral of up and down energy going into the etheric realms as high as the 13th dimension and then coming back down into 3D and grounding a lot of this spiritual truth, which was very emotionally overwhelming. It took a physical toll on my body. It was so traumatic. My second spiral of ascension happened, I believe it was 2021. It was 2 years later, and it was also in the spring. Um, Not quite Mother's Day. It was April Fool's. I remember that it was April Fool's because I set up the house for Christmas for the kids that April Fool's, and everybody thought I was a little bit crazy, but that's what the kids wanted. But anyway, and during that second spiral of ascension, I had two massive pieces of Lemurian quartz, and my guides had me travel to Rose Beach, which is out by Rondeau. And then they had me travel from Rose Beach to Mitchell's Bay, which is Lake St. Clair. So Erio and Lake St. Clair, two different lakes connected to the Great Lakes. So for those of you that aren't local to the area, we're kind of surrounded by all of the Great Lakes. And I probably paid over $100 for each of these Lemurian quartz pieces. Like they were gorgeous, they were huge, and my guides were like, throw them in the water. So a piece of Lemurian quartz went flying into Erio, and the other piece went out to Lake St. Clair, and I never did get them back. I don't know what I was alchemizing then, but it was a very surreal experience because when I was out at Erio, there was an apparition of a man in a pickup truck that appeared to be my father in the truck. And when I got out of my car and I walked up to this truck, the man was not my father. Very strange. And he was like, oh, can I help you, dear? I was like, I guess I think I'm lost. And by the time I got back to my car, this truck was gone and it didn't start, it didn't go anywhere. So like, and I wasn't crazy. I was very much wide awake, and it was such a strange energy that I went through. I was shown my dad was going to have a heart attack during that spiral of ascension, and a week later he actually did. He's still alive though. But something about Lemurian quartz is asking you, Scorpio, to escape your mind. Okay, and so maybe you need a vacation from your thoughts. Maybe you needed to hear that story because the ascension journey can seem a little bit crazy at times. Let me tell you, I am a ninth house Scorpio, and I can go into the darkest places of the psyche, and I can feel a little bit crazy at times. But Lemurian quartz is like a wand. You can point it to any part of your body. It can bring more juice into your life, but you can get lost in like a fable energy, right? You can get lost in the etheric like craziness of the journey. And so Lemurian quartz can kind of bring you back down, right? And so I just feel maybe you are in need of a great big zap of universal love, Scorpio. I do feel it's time to awaken your inner wizard, your inner witch. It's really time to awaken this healing energy around you. So let's see what the tarot has to say. I'm going to flip that because it stayed on the deck. Well, that's your energy, Scorpio, King of Cups, and we can all embody that energy and the wheel. And so there is a fresh new start here, Jupiter. So I don't know how Jupiter in Gemini retrograde is aspecting any part of your chart, Scorpio, but look to any Gemini energy too, because after this retrograde, I feel you will be moving forward into a new start. And so right now, I think you're facing challenges and delays. And this is all about digging deep. There is a situation here that is asking you to dig deep. So we see this King of Cups. He's not looking to the water behind him. He's looking to the land. And so Scorpio waters run really deep. So you could be dealing with somebody that has hidden intentions. I do feel Scorpio at times can be very misunderstood because of the depth and the intensity of fixed water. But usually Scorpio energy is very trustworthy, very honorable, very devoted, and very cautious, which is why I think people often misconstrue Scorpio energies because of the holding back a little bit, because of the intensity, and because Scorpio has so much to give, right? I just feel maybe it's time to dig deep into these hidden emotions. But I think there's positive change coming here. But I think you really got to get out of the head, Scorpio, okay? So what needs to come through for Scorpio? Be aware of unconscious assumptions. So be aware, I feel, of unconscious patterns is a big message, Scorpio. And then we get, don't take anything personally. Everyone lives in their own dream. Right now, I think you're just living in your head and you got to come back to reality here. And so everybody lives in their own reality. Everybody lives in their own dreams. Everybody has their own issues that they've got going on. We are all in a completely different reality day to day than what other people live in, right? And so I don't create the same reality that you create and vice versa. And so I just feel right now you're in a time period where maybe communication is a struggle. Maybe you don't feel that it's safe to ask questions with somebody that maybe you're doubting their intentions connected to this person. But I do feel you've got a lot of love for somebody and they should know what you want and how you feel about a situation. So I hope that helped you, Scorpio. We are going to move on to Sagittarius next. We're going to get messages for Sag, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, Jupiter, and North Node. Oh, let's try that again. Sagittarius, what do we got for my Saggies? Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, Jupiter, and North Node. All right. We got two out. We get Peridot and Muscovite. So this is asking you to develop your foresight and to magnetize your motivation. And so I do feel you are being asked to really explore the synchronicities around you. I think the guides are hitting you left, right, and center with signs and synchronicities. You are the sign of expansion. Sagittarius is connected to Jupiter. With Jupiter retrograde in Gemini right now, you might be struggling integrating the Geminian aspects in your chart to the Sagittarian aspects, but I just feel there's going to be some type of epiphany and you're going to be like, holy crap, how did I not see that coming? You might be blindsided when it comes to a situation here. I also feel this is going to allow you to get a grip of a situation because I think maybe you have been missing the signs or not knowing how to interpret the signs that have been kind of all around you. And then Peridot, they're showing me an olive tree. So I don't know if there's like Akashic codes connected to ancient Greece being activated, but there is this energy asking you to just start to get things done. Sagittarius can be very ethereal, right? And it can be a procrastination energy at times when it comes to getting things done. because you're always thinking about the next project, the next idea. It can be a little bit scattered, lackadaisical at times, but I do feel you got to stop chasing after someone or something that isn't serving you in order to power up your vitals. So there could be somebody here that is holding you back from fully applying yourself, but you don't need permission to do what's best for you. So let's see what the tarot card is that needs to go with this. Yeah, there is a realignment here, Sagittarius, and there's that Ten of Wands that was on the bottom of the deck before we started pulling in. So the Two of Pentacles, time. Maybe you've been holding on to a King of Wands. You could be embodying this King of Wands. It is representative of fire energy. But there's something here that you've been juggling for a long time that you need to let go in order to step into being this motivational leader. And so you are being called into some type of leadership role. There is a situation here that you need to take your power back from. There is something here that has created all kinds of health problems, all kinds of stress. When I think of pentacles, I think of years. You could have been with this person for the last 2 years, not sure which way to go. And maybe you're feeling like I've spent a lot of time on this connection. I don't want to let it go. Maybe you're feeling like I've wasted a lot of time and you're feeling guilty for wasting time. But I think you've put a lot of hard work into a situation that really hasn't brought you the results that you've been seeking. And now it's time to step into this big, bold vision that you want for your life. And so the masculine energy is like a taking charge. And so it's time to harness your inner masculine and take charge of a situation. Maybe you're being called to step into the spotlight, to be a public speaker, to talk about expansion, to talk about your awakening. You are here to inspire other people on the path. So I think a lot of things that hold us back when it comes to being in the public eye is criticism. And I have been met with all kinds of criticism. I've been laughed at, I've been taunted, I've been gossiped about, but none of that matters. If you are being called to step into leadership, then that's what you are here to do, okay, Sagittarius? So speak with integrity. That's what this is saying. Say what you mean, and avoid using words to speak against yourself. So I just feel maybe you're worried about the gossip of others if you step into the spotlight and share your wisdom, share your gifts, but you are being redirected through this truth and this love of the universe. So speak up. What you say matters, okay? All right, Capricorn is up next. So we will see what messages need to come through for my Capricorn collective. What do we got for Capricorn? Okay, we're going to take it. We'll just take the one that flipped over. I'm not going to take that big pile today. Aventuring. I just feel you're getting ready for a brand new adventure. So if you've been a little bit stuck in a rut, stuck in a funk, maybe in a state of melancholy, it's really time to bring yourself back into that heart-centered energy. Maybe you feel like this whole life on earth is one great big alien experiment. But you know what? Life on earth is supposed to be fun. It's not supposed to be hard. Capricorn, you are ruled by Saturn, which makes things hard. You got to work hard for your goals and for your aspirations. And so I don't know if you've got a little side hustle going on here. Maybe it's time to up the game when it comes to the side hustle or business. But I feel whenever you encounter people, wherever you go, it might feel like the universe is out to get you. People are out to get you, and people are hell bent on bringing you down to gutter level. So remember, everything is a reflection of what's going on inside of us. So if you find yourself in some type of crisis of faith, crisis of confidence, it's time to wake up. It's time to clean something up here. And it's time to re-up your shine. So we're going to see the tarot that needs to go with aventuring. Because I just feel you contain all of the mysteries of the universe within you, Capricorn. And it's time to go after those big plans, those big dreams. The Three of Wands to the Empress. It's time to know your worth and your value. So we get Taurus, Libra energy with the Empress. We get the unicorn on the card with the Empress, right? And so this is like planning for the long term. When you master your past choices, your past lessons, then you receive that karmic reward, that karmic balance. And so Saturn doesn't just create this disciplined energy, or Saturn doesn't just wreck things, it also blesses things. And so I think maybe it's just this energy of patience. Maybe you've been patient, but I do feel it's time to give birth to your dreams. There's a new creative project here. I feel it's really time to believe that you are abundant, believe that you are prosperous, and the Empress certainly knows her worth and her value. So step into your worth and your value, Capricorn, because who doesn't want to be with an Empress, right? Release the need to be right. So if you believe something is true, it doesn't mean that you're right. That's just your belief that you're right. And so there's many right paths, there's many wrong paths. There really is no right or wrong. And so if you are making assumptions and you want to be right, it can easily destroy a relationship before it gets off the ground. And so you don't have to defend your position. You just have to be the Empress and trust that what is meant for you will come to you. The Three of Wands for me is like a manifestation coming in, like your ships are coming in regardless. And so you don't have to defend your position as an Empress. You just have to let go. So let go of the need to be right and let go of the need to defend yourself, I think is a message. Okay, Capricorn? All right, Aquarius is up next. Let's see what we got for my Aquarian collective. What do we got for Aquarius today, Spirit? Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, Jupiter, and North Node. That one wanted to come out. Rhodochrosite. This is about softening your heart. Somebody here is in a deep need to grieve. There's almost like there was a major loss when it comes to a relationship that ended, and there's not been any grieving connected to this ending. You are ruled by air and Saturn and Uranus, Aquarius. And so I feel somebody is hell-bent on not being brokenhearted, but you can't create the new cycle holding on to the old heartbreak. And so you might be being asked to release an old, outdated relationship by actually opening up the heart and grieving and ending. So pay attention to where Aquarius is at in your chart. I do feel your heart is hurting and you have been avoiding feeling all of these feelings connected to an ending. Hey, Kate, welcome in. It's good to see you here. We're on Aquarius. We got Pisces left. Welcome in. You got to be gentle with yourself. You have to heal your heart. And so this too shall pass. Big energy in one of the chapters in the Eckhart Tolle book when it comes to a Zen master. I remember this story a little bit vaguely. I think it was yesterday morning, talking about this king that just wanted to be happy, and he was going to pay this wise person whatever he could. He was willing to give this wise person his whole kingdom for the magic trick of having peace in his life. And I think the big trick in having the big secret in having peace in your life is saying this too shall pass. The good times don't last forever. The bad times don't last forever. So in good or bad times, we have to remember this too shall pass. Nothing is permanent, right? Everything in this physical reality is impermanent. And so there is a need to heal. So if you've avoided the healing and you've jumped into another relationship and you're calling it love, there's an underlying block when it comes to a past heartbreak that has not been grieved yet. So what is the tarot card connected to this energy for Aquarius? Seven of Pentacles flew right over there, and I am going to take these because they landed right on Rhodochrosite. And so Knight of Pentacles, Queen of Swords, Seven of Swords, and then we get the Seven of Pentacles. And so there's been, I feel, this tugging from the universe to say, hey, you got to get honest here. I do feel somebody snuck away. They thought they could move on from a relationship ending, maybe with the Queen of Swords. Maybe you're this Queen of Swords and you cut somebody out. It is Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. We get Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. We get Virgo. And I just feel like Spirit is like, you got to go back. I feel somebody here is like losing their peace of mind because they thought they could sneak away and move on and just stuff this truth behind them and never have to look back. But I do feel there's a lack of honesty here because I think somebody's losing their mind and they're stuck. There's a big wall here when it comes to a misunderstanding, Aquarius. And there's a need to have a very difficult conversation is what this feels like, even if it's just a difficult conversation with yourself. And so we got this dark horse coming at you, right? I'm hearing that Katy Perry song, Dark Horse. And so, and the Queen of Swords is saying, hey, this has to be released. Something here needs to be released. And I think now is the perfect timing with the Pisces energy playing out. And so maybe somebody's been so focused on their career, they've used their job to avoid grieving a divorce or something of the sort. But there is like a protection going through this cycle. And so you can plant seeds all you want to go somewhere new, but nothing is growing here yet because of this dark, shadowy, overshadowing energy here. And I do feel there might need to be a releasing in order to move past that. So just be aware of your actions, I feel, Aquarius. So what is the, oh my goodness, the Four Agreements card for Aquarius? What do we got for Aqua here today? All right. Love and respect yourself. So you are never responsible for the actions of others, but you are responsible for the actions of yourself. And so if you're not treating somebody with love and respect, then you can't avoid having to face the mirror. If somebody's not treating you with love and respect, then maybe it's a gift that they walked away from you. And so we do have to go through that hurt. It does hurt. Endings hurt. There's no way around it. But your heart will eventually heal, but not if you avoid the healing work, Aquarius, okay? All right, we're going to move on to Pisces. Last but not least, like always, what do we got for Pisces? Pisces is the end and the beginning. So this is going to be for Pisces, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, Jupiter, and North Node. Pisces, messages for Pisces, please. Oh my gosh. Okay, we'll take the two that flipped out. We get Moldavite and Opal. I have a gorgeous opal ring. I don't know why I don't wear it more often. Opal is asking you to feel all of your feels. And those of you that know crystals, you know what Moldavite does. It transforms everything in your life. Moldavite is the stone that clears everything that's a block. And so there's like a super spiritual clearing energy here. A very heavy clearing is what this feels like, Pisces. And so you are becoming the spiritual seeker. Maybe something here has cost you. Maybe something here has cost you for sure. I feel like this energy here. I feel third eye. I feel you're being brought to the altar, almost like this coming to Jesus moment. And this is happening right now, or could have happened, or is about to happen, especially with the North Node going into Pisces. It's going to aspect all Pisces energy. So if you have a lot of planets in Pisces, you are going to go through a major psycho-spiritual scrub. This is going to be a re-identification of self over the next 18 months. And so meditation, you are being called to the altar. So you better get yourself grounded because you are being called to feel all of your feels. I feel there's a relationship here that has created a huge energetic block for your path. And let's face it, Pisces, you are anything but common. You are anything but common. And so it's really time to explode spiritual perceptions in your life. And so I do feel a lower vibe on the heart that needs to be purged. So what's the tarot card? Renewal, Judgment, Awakening. Like, I can never, ever get tired of how beautiful these cards connect together when I do these readings. And so major renewal of the past, forgiving yourself, forgiving others. If you see, we get kind of like the crossroads energy. Kind of reminds me of like the Knights Templars energy, or like a guard energy with the red cross flag. I don't know if you know what that flag is connected to. Somebody let me know, but I do know that's Pluto. And so major death, rebirth, and it is time to head in a new direction, Pisces. It's really time to gain that clarity when it comes to your purpose. So the next 18 months are going to be very interesting for Pisces out there. But I feel you already know in your heart of hearts what it is that you need to do. So there could be a renewal of a family situation. The renewal card can indicate a reunion, a reconciliation. It could mean needing to make a judgment call about a family situation. But I do feel that clarity is coming for you, Pisces. So what is the Four Agreements card for my Pisces collective? All right. Don't make assumptions. Relinquish the need to change others. We can't change people. We can't. So if you're trying to change somebody to fit into what you believe that they should be, stop. Take a step back. The only thing you have control over is changing yourself. So, real love, Pisces, is accepting people the way they are. And if you can't accept somebody the way they are, then it's really not love, it's attachment. So release the need to try to change people because you can't. It's up to them to do the work to change themselves. And if it's something that you really don't like, then maybe it's easier to walk away and find somebody that is aligned to your values and your belief system because you can't change a person. So stop trying to change somebody if that's what you're trying to do and go find somebody that is already aligned with what it is that you're looking for. And I just feel that's what you're being asked to do. Pisces, recognize, is this real love or is this attachment? So that's what I got for all the zodiac signs today. It was so good to see almost all of you in here today. For those of you that missed the live, I am sorry. It would be nice to see you hopefully next week. Go back, Kate, and watch the replay back from the start. I did talk about the book of the month. I'm just going to reiterate, I will be making a post with an option to vote on next month's book, whether we can do it audio or reading the book. There's a couple book options that I've been thinking about. So I'm going to do a poll. I want your input, and I will be solidifying a Facebook group, a private Facebook group for the book club for all of us to have input throughout the month about the book that we're reading. So happy reading, everybody. I hope you all have a wonderful weekend ahead, and I do look forward to seeing you all again next Thursday.